My Inner Planes mentor, Thoth describes the life pulse is a synchronous system of consciousness, of living in that consciousness, because there's a pulse in the universe, and that pulse registers in our heart and in the REGULA APSA that Thoth speaks of, that is connected to the inner earth. And all of these things, it's like a pulsing heart that goes from the Hunabku, the center of the universe, through the entire universal spectrum of our holographic field, into the REGULA APSA of the inner earth, and into our higher heart, which translates down into our physical heart. The pulse beat, that life pulse, but it's not just about keeping us alive. It is keeping us synchronous with our cosmic self and beyond. It is a rhythm of manifestation, because we are constantly manifesting in our lives. Even when we feel that we aren't, we are, because we're alive. And living is a form of manifestation. And it goes beyond that, of course, but that's the trigger point. Some years ago, I was doing life pulse sessions for people that were Thoth directed, and they were written, which I don't do anymore. But I did collect out of those sessions certain statements that Thoth made that were just for anyone and everyone concerning how to live and express the life pulse more fully in your incarnation. In fact, my current consultations, which are Zoom, so they aren't written, do incorporate that frequency, that design within them in the information that comes through. It's just not written out and very specifically addressing the life pulse. But we explore many aspects of that whole synchronization in the sessions I currently do on Zoom. For this video, I have compiled some quotations from those life pulse sessions. Nothing of a personal nature, but just statements that could be addressing any human being on the planet. And I'd like to share them with you here today. You will gain more clarity in your life when you focus on where you are rather than where you have been or may be going. Find that place in you that is home, the anchor for your incarnated soul. Leave all distraction behind and follow that thread that leads you through the labyrinth into the sunlight of your heart stream. Don't spend time staring at locked doors. The one for you will always be open and welcoming, a gate into a secret garden where you belong. This you will find when you take the time to be alone and silent, in nature, in a place of beauty and peace. Cease the racing thoughts and know you are loved and not alone. Then you will find the way before you. On the northern shore of Atlantis, there was the Academy of Urusha. Urusha was a learning center containing 5 temples. In one of these, students learned to create healing spheres. These were like large soap bubbles, the size of which a human could sit cross-legged inside. The spheres contained an energy light, a form of life called Naga, that was summoned by the healer to enter a field of energy the healer had created through the mind-heart frequency. So the Naga and the healer were working together in the energy sphere. The healer would then send the sphere to the person in need. That individual would enter the sphere and receive a balancing of the entire energy bodies. Your relationship with the Ornaga can aid you in healing your human relationships by calling on their assistance from a place of pure heart, releasing all feelings of injustice or wrongdoing. Simply be the pure light frequency you are, and from that place call upon the Ornaga, who are dragons of light and flame. A good heartstone for you or anyone working with the Ornaga is tanzanite. You might see it as your dragon riding stone, for it connects you to the frequency of the Ornaga time travel lines or meridians in the earth. Focus on creating a sacred space for yourself, for your interior being. The energy essence of this is to give yourself space within, time without, to get to know the real you, not through esoteric practice of any kind, but by natural communion with yourself, establishing a dialogue each day. How are you today? How are you feeling? What are you feeling? Do you have any wisdom you would care to share with me this day? How can I make you feel most comfortable and accepted in the space we share together? We being the mental self and the feeling self. If there is a decision to be made, find some quiet time and space and invite your feeling body to visit you. Ask how it feels about the situation at hand. Concerning it, any fears, hopes, desired outcomes. Listen attentively. Then inform your emotional body that it is okay to turn loose of any fears while keeping sight of the desired outcome, and allow it to arise from the greater good of the experience rather than try to contain it in a box of your own perceptions. Fear, however, is attempting to tell you something you need to know. It is just that you have not been listening, so the emotional body begins to panic as it is not being heard. Ask your fear what message it contains. Be with this until you receive an answer. This knowledge will release your fear, for fear is based on the unknown. Now that you have the knowledge, so the fear departs, and you can make your decision with clarity. Know that any decision you make in life is not a wrong one, as all paths lead to the same source. It can be a decision that takes you on a longer and more challenging journey, or a short and pleasant trip. Yet maybe there is something you need to gain from the longer route at times. The important thing is not so much the decision you make, but how you make it, your frame of mind, your interior position of strength, and your willingness to let Spirit be the master of your fate once you make the decision and act upon it. Your creative talents and intuitions lie in drawing to you what you need. However, when this does not occur, it is due to needing something you are not aware of, a missing ingredient. To quote Wayne Dyer, and I quote him here, "We do not draw to us what we want, but who we are." And that's the end of the quote. Thus, if it is not coming to you, the vibration within you is saying, not the time, not ready, not appropriate. This would hold true with relationships as well as any other desire you wish to see manifested. The trick is to at once keep your eyes on the summit and the ground beneath your feet. For if you lose sight of the summit, the direction of your climb strays. If you do not see the placement of your feet upon the ground, you stumble and fall. How do you achieve both visions? by moving your mind out of the way and getting in touch with the greater senses of your spiritual nature. This is based on several key principles, ones you might likely know intellectually but lose track of in focus. The first is, all things of the world are transitory. Placing your intention and focus on anything within this transitory state may yield results, but only transitory, like that which you focus upon. Always maintain a higher vision, one that is defining in essence of the heart rather than the details of the world. Second, life is to be lived as a sacred passage. Nothing that is given to you is either accidental or punishment. It always serves the highest good of the soul. Third, you, in the moment now, are whole and complete. You simply have not yet to recognize this and thus experience it fully. And fourth, no other in your life can set the criterion for your path and purpose in this life. You are not set upon this earth to follow someone else's wishes and desires. It is not serving others to do so. If you do not follow what your heart tells you is right for you, you are not in a position to serve anyone else. Relax, breathe deeply, and lift worry from you with the healing elixir of joy. Open to experiencing more happiness in your life in simple ways. It is not up to you to become an ascended being. It is for you to allow it, through relaxing in the sea of spirit and letting it take you with its currents. You can only accomplish this through inner and outer relaxation and realizing that the divine is the nurturer and not a commander. It is time to decide to live the life you were given. Find that place within yourself which knows the truth of your life, that you were born to be here now and experience this world now and thrive in it. Anyone alive in this current period of time is key to the whole movement. It is a priority reason for this incarnation. The more you see yourself as a fully engaged human being in living each day to the fullest, accepting it all as a blessing of creation and self-discovery, the happier you will be. Wellness of mind, body, and emotions are coming from this single font. Drink deeply of life, and it will renew you. Humanity is now seriously within the workshop of transforming the personal I into the greater I am. Affirm daily, I am all the aspects of my being, those I deem good and those I wish to move beyond. They are all part of my divinity, stages of my evolution. I cannot leave behind anything. I can transform parts of my being into greater resources for my spirit by informing them of the beauty and greatness of what awaits them in that transformation. With love, cut the cords to those who are not aligned to your essential being. They drain and distract you from who you truly are. Open to opportunities that take you out of the box and beyond the scope of your little dreams into a larger and more expansive realm. Know that you are not trapped in circumstance. You are free to change the energy in your environment by changing your environment, physical location, or change of whom you associate with on a regular basis. This may or may not be a part of it. but the greater change of environment is within. Feeling the power you command to change your life circumstance. Without that feeling, that knowing, you will never really change anything but outer forms. The inner will remain the same. This incarnation for you is a lesson in seeking balance between sharpness and roundness, a principle first brought forth in ancient Mu or Lemuria. Sharpness was called Anji. It is the cutting edge, bringing things to absolution in a definite way, precise and logical, swiftly and conclusively. Roundness is Abutta, following the curve to its beginning by moving forward, not backward, not facing the blade head on, but curving it into a path so that it leads to an opportunity of a new beginning. Then there is no need to cut away, but instead to recreate the journey and thus create a new outcome. There are times when sharpness is necessary, but it is always roundness that is the more complete resolution, although it usually takes longer to achieve. Anji, sharpness, comes to one when that person is at a standstill and is not choosing either path. For in actuality, there is one path, and the choice is whether or not to embark upon it. That is the path of Abutta, roundness. If the person is not willing to take that first step, then often the blade will appear as a prompt. Those who have walked the path of Abutta and recreated their beginning then step into Alukama, the Taurus, and become awakened ones. Earth is a place where one incarnates to come to understand and live within personal sovereignty. This is why you are here. Only through truly embracing this sovereignty can you reach a point of then fully embracing the all as one within you. Personal sovereignty is not a declared separation from all. It is understanding the I am within you. This becomes firmly rooted so that you can then take that blessed being into the all with certainty and power. You will come to find your place in society when you find your truthful being in the I am, which is the God Self in the midst of the Holy of Holies, the eternal Sacred Heart. As you experience deeper and deeper clarity of the I am within, engaging it from all aspects of your daily life, down the most mundane tasks, remain open to all possibilities and thus all dimensions of your experiential being. You are aware of the most obvious experiences that impact your conscious state. But there are experiences taking place for you on the subtle planes as well, and they are the most profound. Be aware that this is so, even if you are currently unconscious of the experiences themselves. In placing your awareness on the truth that you are a dimensional being and very active on dimensions you are not consciously perceiving, you will begin to draw more awareness of the actual experiences into your conscious perception. When you develop a greater sense of true self through this process of engaging the I am, you will find that people drift out of your life who are not ready to experience the fullness you are becoming, as they are not ready to experience it within themselves. Do not try to hold on to such relationships. Simply allow them to dissolve of their own accord. Every day, every moment, draw upon the deep well of appreciation, drinking the life-giving waters therein, appreciating the very life pulse within you.